Welcome to The Explainer. You know, managing enterprise security can feel, well, super complex. So today, we're going to break it all down. We're talking about Symantec Endpoint Protection, and we'll turn it into a clear, actionable guide you can actually use.
All right, so here's the game plan. We're going to walk through the entire life cycle. First up, we're building a solid foundation. Then we'll get into deploying the agents. After that, it's all about command and control. We'll even look at some smart ways to optimize everything, and finally, we'll make sure your system is totally bulletproof.
So, you're in charge of endpoint security for, who knows, dozens, maybe thousands of machines. The big question is always, where do you even begin? It can feel like a huge task, right? And getting that start right is, well, it's everything. It really sets you up for success later on.
The answer really is a solid command center. And that is exactly what Symantec Endpoint Protection Manager, we'll just call it SEP, gives you. Think of it as the mission control for your entire organization's endpoint security. It's that one spot where you can see and control everything.
Okay, let's dive into building that foundation. You know, a really good deployment, one that's stable and can grow with you, it actually starts way before you install a single thing. This planning phase is what's going to save you from major headaches down the road. Trust me.
So let's talk prerequisites. You've got options here, which is great. You can run it on a physical box or in a virtual environment like VMware or even in the cloud on Azure or AWS. My advice? Go with a newer OS like Windows Server 2022 for that long-term support. Now, when it comes to hardware, please don't skimp. That recommendation of 8 gigs of RAM, that's just for the SEPM application itself, not including the operating system. And keep this number in your head. A single SEPM server can handle up to 18,000 clients. That helps you think about how you're going to scale.
All right, first things first, where do you get the goods? You're going to head straight to the Broadcom support portal. Seriously, this is the one and only official place to get the software and, super important, your license files. You'll need to log in, of course, but then you can grab the exact version you need.
Okay, our command center is planned out. Now for the fun part, extending that shield out to all your endpoints. It's time to get those security agents deployed on every single machine.
But wait, before you deploy anything, listen up. Here's a pro tip that's going to save you so much time. Jump into the SPM console, go to the admin section, and sync it up with your Active Directory. You can literally pull in the whole organizational structure you already have.
So why does that matter? Well, it's pretty magical. When a new agent pops up on a domain machine, SEPM is smart enough to see it, check which OU it belongs to, and bam, it automatically drops it into the right group. That means it gets the correct policies from day one with zero manual work from you. It's just awesome.
So how do you actually get the agents out there? You've basically got two choices. For those one-off installs, like a brand new server or some machine that's not on the main network, you can just run the installer manually. Easy. But for, everyone else, the remote push from the console is going to be your absolute best friend. You can blast it out to hundreds of computers all at once.
All right, your agents are out there, they're reporting back. Now let's get comfortable in the SSPM console. This is where you'll be spending your time managing the fleet day to day. Let's take a quick tour of the console. The home page, that's your quick, at-a-glance dashboard. Monitors and reports let you dig deep into the logs. Policies, well, that's the heart of it, where you set all the rules. Clients is where you'll see all your groups and machines. And admin is for all the back-end stuff, like servers and licenses.
Now, here's a really important security practice. The principle of least privilege. Basically, don't give everyone the keys to the kingdom. You can create custom admin roles with very specific permissions. Think about it. You could make a help desk role that can see what's going on and run a scan, but they can't actually change any of your security policies. It's all about giving people only the access they absolutely need.
Okay, we've got the basics down. Now let's talk about working smarter, not harder. SEM has some really cool features to help you optimize everything, and let's be honest, make your life a whole lot easier. Picture this. It's a classic scenario. You've got a small remote office, maybe 50 computers, and they're connected back to HQ with a kind of slow network link. A big, new update file comes out, and suddenly all 50 of those machines try to download it at the same time from your main server. Your network link just grinds to a halt. Sound familiar?
And the solution is just brilliant. It's called a Group Update Provider, or GUP. Here's how it works. You pick one machine in that remote office, just one, to be the local update server. That machine downloads the big update file once over that slow link. Then all the other computers in that office grab the update from it over their super fast local network. And just like that, Problem solved. WAN traffic is saved.
Okay, here's another one. What about all your people who aren't in the office? Your road warriors, your remote workers? The second they're off the corporate network, their computers can't talk to your CPM server anymore. That means no new updates, no new policies, and you have no idea what's happening on their machine. It's a huge blind spot.
The fix for this is actually pretty straightforward. You set up a management server in what's called a DMZ, so it's safely accessible from the internet. Then, you just tell your clients about it in their policy. So now, when a laptop is out in the wild and can't find the internal server, it automatically knows, oh, I'll just connect to the public one. It means your users are protected and managed literally wherever they are in the world.
Here's another quick little tip, a real-time saver. Every now and then you might need to restart the SPM services. Instead of going through the whole click, click, click process in the services menu, just create a tiny little batch file. Open up Notepad, type in the netstop and netstart commands for the 3 main services, save it as a .bat file, and you're done. A full restart is now just a single click.
And that brings us to maybe the most important part of managing any system long-term, disaster recovery. We have to be ready for the worst-case scenario, right? Having a solid plan means if your server ever goes down, you can get back up and running fast.
You've probably heard this before, but it is so true. The time to test your backup is before you need it. A backup you've never tried to restore from? That's not a backup, it's just a hope. A real DR plan means you know exactly what files you need, and you've actually practiced putting it all back together. So what does that look like? You need to build a complete disaster recovery kit. And listen, it's more than just the database backup. You need that special recovery file. It has your unique domain ID. You need the server certificate, which is critical for your clients to trust the new server. You'll also want the server properties file, your license file, and I'd even include a simple text file with the server's name and IP info. Oh, and if you use a separate SQL server, you absolutely need that database backup too. Having all of these things ready is the key to a smooth recovery.
Now, that DR kit is something you should definitely update manually before you do any big upgrades. But for your everyday protection, don't forget to use the built-in scheduler inside SEPM. You can set it and forget it. Have it automatically back up the database for you every single day. That way, you always have a recent point to fall back on.
So there you have it. By thinking about this whole life cycle, planning, deploying, managing, optimizing, and being ready for disaster, you've built something that's not just working, it's resilient, it's efficient. And having that strong foundation in place means you're not just fighting today's fires, you're ready to take on whatever security challenge comes next.